got it.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. Today we got 9Lokknine Rico case. He faces up to 130 years in prison, man. This is from the Hip Hop Daily YouTube channel, man. Y'all head on over to my guy. Give him a subscribe, man. Y'all know we rock with him heavy on the channel, man. So listen, 9Lokknine. When I first heard of this Rico case, it was the day I did the reaction to the last song he dropped last week. And, you know, them saying the severity of this, man, like, listen, it's a Rico. It's a Rico off top, man. So the chances of beating this, you got better chances of winning the lottery than beating the Rico case. And I don't know what exactly they got on 9Lokknine or what's going on, but we for sure about to find out, man. Let's get it.
Florida's a crazy state. Over the past 10 years, it's produced some of the biggest rappers in the game, but it's also filled with plenty of poverty, crime, and violence that inspires the music and leads to one of the highest murder rates in the country. Recently, the state has been cracking down on any rappers who are really living that life. Pooh Shiesty and Polo G were both hit with charges after performing in Miami, and YFN Lucci was recently hit with a gang indictment that ties into groups in Florida. But that's nothing compared to what's going on in Orlando between the AFNF and 438 gangs. Rapper 9Lokknine and several others involved in this violent war were just hit with Florida State Rico charges related to murders, extortion, and racketeering. Here's everything we know about the case. 9Lokknine is a rapper from Orlando, Florida, known for tracks like 10% and 223. Growing up, the rapper had it pretty tough. He was raised by a single mother while his dad was in and out of prison, and from a young age, he was always getting into trouble. So even as a jit, 9Lokknine was wild, and that didn't stop once he started rapping. He released his first track on SoundCloud in 2017 under the name YBJ Quay, eventually changing his name to 9Lokknine after the pistol and the local Orlando news Channel 9, which he's been featured on several times. He started exclusively—
That's creative as hell. I never even thought of that. So 9Lokknine came from the Channel 9 news, and oh man, okay. That's savage. I ain't gonna cap. That's cold.
Pistol and the local Orlando news Channel 9, which he's been featured on several times. He started exclusively releasing his videos on WorldStar, including the track Jail Hizzy Blues, which quickly racked up almost 2 million views in just a few months. He released his debut mixtape Bloodshell's Revenge in July 2018, and a few days later signed a $2 million deal with Cash Money Records. Many thought that 9Lokknine would—
2 million? I didn't know he was under Cash Money Records.
And a few days later signed a $2 million deal with Cash Money Records. Many thought that 9Lokknine would be the next hot rapper out of Florida. But at the same time he was blowing up, he was also involved in a violent beef with the crew of another Orlando rapper named Hot Boy. This beef would lead to several shootings and murders that would eventually land the rapper in the situation he's in now. Hot Boy and 9Lokknine started out as friends, but while 9Lokknine was first blowing up, Hot Boy was behind bars. He set out to be the biggest rapper in Orlando and says that Glock started hating on him because he couldn't take the competition. But the beef would get much deeper than just some competition after bodies on both sides would start dropping like flies.
I went to jail, right? So get a little chance to shine, right? So now when I get out, I take back over. I take back over when I get out. Now they hate me for that? What? What?
Glock is associated with the gang called AFNF, or All Family No Friends, while Hot Boy is a part of a group called 438. The war between these two gangs would terrorize the city of Orlando and lead to the deaths of not only affiliates, but also innocent bystanders.
This is the thing with Florida though, man. You got Orlando, it's so many different places. Orlando, Jacksonville, it's so many where it's like, it's so many gangs. That's why I feel like the cops, they tweet whenever any fucking rapper, even in the city, even if you ain't from Florida, like, cause it's so much going on in every city. And Florida is a tourist state. They don't want to scare people away from coming to their state. That's why the cops be on these niggas' asses. And rap is so different now. These is all street niggas, man. These ain't no real industry club rappers. These some niggas that was active in the streets with it, man.
Terrorize the city of Orlando and lead to the deaths of not only affiliates, but also innocent bystanders, including a high school football player, a 14-year-old, and a 3-year-old child who would all lose their lives due to the beef.
Wow.
It got so bad that the whole story was covered on the local news channel. Authorities also announced that the FBI was watching the two gangs, which were considered the most dangerous in the city. So it wasn't all that surprising when the rapper got hit with the Florida Rico charge in June 2021. But he wasn't the only one to get caught up in the indictment. Several other people associated with this beef, including 438 members and members of another rival gang called the Know 'em, Cut 'em, Kill 'em, were also hit with similar charges. Glock is being charged with racketeering and conspiracy to commit racketeering under the Florida Rico Act. Racketeering is a charge that was created to convict mob bosses of crimes that were committed by members of their organization at their command.
What?
It includes a wide range of illegal activity, such as violent crimes, as well as things like drug trafficking, extortion, and even gambling. The law was created to take down the mafia, but in recent years, it's been used to target any street gangs, especially those associated with famous rappers. Rappers like Bobby Shmurda, Casanova, and YFN Lucci have also been hit with racketeering charges because the feds claim they are the ringleaders and shot callers in their circle. Therefore, they're responsible for any crimes their team might commit to benefit the group.
They really hitting rappers with mob boss charges, man. That shit crazy.
Therefore, they're responsible for any crimes their team might commit to benefit the group. Glock is lucky that the feds haven't picked up the case yet, and it's still just a state case, although he's facing a long list of charges, so it isn't exactly going to be easy to beat. The fact that they charge him with conspiracy means they don't have to prove he actually committed any crimes, they just have to prove he contributed to a gang lifestyle that led to crimes being committed. When you add that, on top of all the other charges the rapper is facing, he's gonna have to hire some expensive lawyers to avoid doing serious time. The paperwork on the case—
That's tough. So they don't even have to prove that he did anything. They just gotta say, oh, well, he affiliated with this person, and this person knew the person that shot this person, so we charging him just because he tied to it. He ain't even have to physically do anything. He could just know the people in that gang, and that's tough. You can't beat that. That's tough. That's crazy as hell.
The rapper is facing, he's gonna have to hire some expensive lawyers to avoid doing serious time. The paperwork on the case is yet to be released, but it has been announced that Glock is one of 10 men being charged in this takedown. The court documents allegedly contain over 700 pages of evidence, and some of the suspects are still on the loose.
700?
Hot Boy was not arrested in this case, but his right-hand man, Van Sean Sands, was. Before getting hit with the RICO charge, Glock 9 was out on bond after being charged with 5 counts of attempted murder. The rapper and an associate named Ballpark allegedly shot up the home of another rival rapper named Cutum Reese, who was also Glock 9's blood cousin. Reese—
Cutum, oh, hold on. This is a lot of info. I did not know this. Like, y'all know we rocking with Cutum Reese heavy right now. And I knew y'all said him and Glock 9 had smoke. I didn't know that was his blood cousin. Bro, what? Wow.
He shot up the home of another rival rapper named Cutum Reese, who was also Glock 9's blood cousin. Reese wasn't home at the time of the shooting, but 5 of his family members were and just barely escaped getting hit. One of them was Reese's sister, who was also Ballpark's half-sister and Glock's cousin. She told police that her cousin was jealous of Reese because he was building a name for himself in the city, and Glock wanted to be the only poppin' rapper from Orlando. She says that—
So you gonna try to kill your cousin?
She was looking outside the window when Glock and Ballpark got out of the car with guns, and she's positive they were the ones who shot up the house.
Damn.
Glock later accused Reese of snitching in this case, but it seems like he didn't have to. A new Florida state attorney for the area around Orlando was sworn into office in January 2021. Taking down the AFNF and 438 gangs was the first item on her agenda. She quickly charged Glock with 5 counts of second-degree attempted murder with a firearm, each of which carries a mandatory minimum of 20 years in prison if he's found guilty. So altogether, Glock is facing over 100 years in prison just for these charges alone. At the same time, prosecutors began building a case to identify AFNF as a criminal street gang with Glock 9 as the leader. They've probably been compiling evidence for a long time, but this was
The thing that hurts these cases is the fact that these rappers are so popular. You got so many people that follow these rappers. They make songs that get millions of streams. The courts will use those songs. People get mad at the bloggers, like, oh, this police, you the police for even reporting this, you're the police for reporting this. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, I hate that shit. People even be in my comments, this police, you need to take this down. Nigga, I got 70,000 subscribers compared to some people that got 7 to 10 million people on their Instagram, and they on Instagram live showing guns, saying that they gonna do this and this to somebody. They release a song saying how they gonna kill a nigga. It get 30 million views, but you blame the bloggers, you blame the YouTubers. Let's keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. These rappers need to be smart about how they moving. They need to be smart about how they moving, man. It's the fact that they so popular, and like I said, these is street niggas now. These are not just some club rappers. These ain't no niggas that grew up in the suburbs. These niggas really got ties like that. Like, come on now. I never knew Glock 9 was in it this deep. I just knew he had smoke with Hot Boy. I didn't know he was like, you know, all this shit he talking about in this video, I ain't even know. That's crazy.
With Glock 9 as the leader. They had probably been compiling evidence for a long time, but this was the beginning of the arrest that would lead to the RICO charge. But Glock 9 wasn't the only one to get hit with racketeering charges. Ballpark would also get caught up in the indictment after being snitched on by his own half-sister, as with two other rival Orlando rappers named Draco Syke and Lil Wavy. Draco was Cutum Reese's brother, and they are allegedly members of the 3300 gang in Orlando, which also goes by the name Know 'em, Cut 'em, Kill 'em, or KKK. Both men were charged with the use of electronic communications to promote gangs in the RICO case. Lil Wavy was also out on bond for another charge of aggravated assault with a firearm that stemmed from an altercation at a doctor's office. He and another man allegedly threatened to kill two of their ops in front of their own mother. In the waiting room of the Colonial Medical Center, Lil Wavy and another man named MG confronted two other men that they had beef with. MG pulls out a Glock, and they both threatened to kill the two men while their mother was just a few feet away. After they left, the mother called the police and reported what had happened.
These niggas is some freaking demons, man. What the? In front of moms, too?
The mother was just a few feet away. After they left, the mother called the police and reported what had happened. Then, Lil Wavy posted a video of the fight to his social media where he said some pretty disrespectful stuff. 3 Block was a man who was murdered in a shooting allegedly committed by the KKK gang. He was also the son and brother of the group that Wavy just threatened. The rapper was later arrested for aggravated assault and hit with another charge of using electronic communications to promote gangs for the video he posted mocking his ops. While he was out on bond for that charge, he and Draco Syke would get caught up in the gang indictment and both catch some more charges. Another well-known figure in this beef, who was also caught up in the RICO indictment, was 438 shooter Van Sean Sands. Sands was previously arrested in a drive-by shooting that left an AFNF member named Jeremiah Robinson dead, but he was later released after being able to prove that he acted in self-defense. On April 14, 2020, an AFNF affiliate named Demetrius Cox shot and killed Wolf Luma at a house party. Luma was not gang affiliated, but he was friends with Hot Boy and his murder was attributed to the beef.
Wow.
Cox was quickly arrested and charged with the murder, and less than 2 weeks later, AFNF struck again.
Wow.
On April 25th, they shot up Luma's vigil, hitting a high school player named Dexter Rance, as well as 3 others. Rance was tragically killed, even though he was not gang affiliated and was only there to pay respects to Luma. But AFNF still wasn't satisfied, and next they planned a targeted shooting of Van Sean Sands, one of the most respected members of 438. On July 7, 2020, AFNF members orchestrated a drive-by on a house where Sands was staying. Rather than just duck and hide like a regular citizen, Sands decided to face the ops head-on and started firing back with an AR pistol. He ended up hitting one of the passengers in the car, who was identified as Jeremiah Robinson, aka AFNF Baby Joker. A month after the shooting, the police made an attempt to arrest Sands that left another man dead. Even though Sands had acted in self-defense, he was also a convicted felon and not allowed to possess a firearm.
That's crazy. I was about to say, because that sounded like self-defense, but, you know, he already had a charge on him. That shit crazy, man. All these rappers, Hot Boy, all these rappers that, you know, got any ties, man, y'all need to leave y'all state, man. Move to Cali or something, man. Get away from all this.
Even though Sands had acted in self-defense, he was also a convicted felon and not allowed to possess a firearm. On August 7th, police made an attempt to bring him into custody and swarmed him and 3 of his friends in the parking lot of a mall. Sands immediately surrendered to the cops, but one of his friends named Salathis Melvin took off running. Melvin had nothing to do with the incident that left AFNF Baby Joker dead, but one of the police officers shot him as he tried to make an escape. He died from the shooting, which led to public outrage and accusations of police brutality, as Sands had already surrendered and was cooperating with—
So that was who Hot Boy was rapping about in that song.
Public outrage and accusations of police brutality, as Sands had already surrendered and was cooperating with authorities. Sands was able to prove that the shooting was in self-defense, but he was still hit with the gun charge. Another person named in the RICO indictment was 438 affiliate Joshua Holder, the alleged getaway driver of an attempted hit on Glock 9 that went down at the mall at Millennia. In October 2020, 438 decided to go at the head honcho of the AFNF and try to take him out in broad daylight. Holder allegedly searched the parking lot of the Orlando Mall for their target in a white BMW for about 15 minutes before spotting him. Holder then parked the car and waited while the passengers went into the mall. They fired off several shots at the rapper before getting back in the car and fleeing the scene.
Just within the last couple of minutes, I've confirmed with Orlando police that shots were fired here at the mall at Millennia.
These niggas doing it in public places like the mall.
They were not fired by Orlando police officers, and the good news is nobody was injured in all this, but I can tell you, driving in, every entrance to the mall at Millennia right now is locked down, sealed down. Nobody is getting inside.
Holder and 2 others were later arrested and charged with attempted murder. Based on all this evidence, it's not hard to see why the cops are cracking down. Broad daylight shootings, innocent bystanders getting killed, and mothers and
saying.
sisters being forced to hide in closets to avoid getting hit, all point to the beef getting out of control.
For real.
But with so much pain and loss on both sides, it's tough to see an end in sight. Glock 9 has told the media that the prosecutor's portrayal of him as a mastermind behind the gang is totally inaccurate. He said that all the people he allegedly controls are all older than him and that AFNF isn't a gang, it's just a brand and record label. But the fact that the rapper has so many prior charges and that he's the most popular member of the group definitely doesn't help his case.
Smith, who faces an attempted murder charge for a separate drive-by shooting, denied any involvement in a gang during our phone call this week.
I feel like they just saying I'm a leader, like they trying to say I'm a gang leader, but I'm not no gang leader. I'm 20 years old. All these wrong behind me, all these people who they trying to say I'm leading is older than me.
AFNF is an LLC that you created for your rap group?
Yeah, it's like a label. It's like my bank. When I get paid through YouTube and all that stuff, my bank that's when it come under AFNF LLC.
Despite all the violence going on in the city, Hot Boy has avoided getting caught up in the drama. Once he started gaining momentum with his music, he moved out of Orlando and has avoided being involved in any violence.
So he moved. I was about to say, man, leave Orlando, get up out of there, man.
Once he started gaining momentum with his music, he moved out of Orlando and has avoided being involved in any violent incidents, leaving the action to his 438 goons. He's done features with huge rappers like Future and Lil Baby, and is in a good position to become a major artist if he can avoid getting caught up in this indictment and the streets in general. On the other hand, things aren't looking great for Glock 9. He's already facing over 100 years in prison for the attempted murder, which has a documented eyewitness and a clear motive. Now he's facing the additional RICO charge, which carries a 30-year minimum sentence. Even if he's able to miraculously beat the charges, he'll likely end up going broke trying to fight the case. Although he's definitely built a buzz, he doesn't have any major hits or a stockpile of music that'll keep his fans satisfied until he's free. The best thing for him to do right now is lawyer up and keep his head down. Anything that happened in the streets with the AFNF name attached to it will just add more evidence that could be used to take him down. So if he really is the gang leader that the prosecutors say he is, he'll have to tell his soldiers to chill out until the heat dies down. At this point, it's tough to know what kind of evidence the court has against him because the paperwork is still private. But with all the information that's on public record, it's gonna be pretty tough for the rapper to prove his innocence. If you thought this video was crazy, be sure to check out our channel for more.
That's crazy, man. I don't know. If he beat all of these charges, he goated. He goated just like that, straight up like that. If he beat all these charges, he goated. But also, if he beat these charges, man, you gotta leave. Get up out of there. Get up out of there, man. I didn't know it was like that in Orlando. I ain't think it was a war zone like that down in Orlando, man. I'm gonna be real with y'all. That's crazy, man. Glock 9's Rico case up to 130 years in prison. Link down below in the description. Y'all want to check it out in its entirety, uninterrupted. If y'all new to the channel, y'all rock with me on daily reaction videos, man. Hit that subscribe button for me. Until the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV TV. I'm out.
I ain't gotta do too much. I swear that these niggas, they be doing too much. I ain't gotta